I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about 0% hope.
Oh dear.
Yikes.
Oh.
You know, a lot of you guys are going through situations where it feels like you have a 0% chance of turning things around. Now, like we say all the time, every situation is different and every breakup is different. Some of you guys are in situations where it's not nearly as bad as you think it is. Some of you guys are in situations where your ex simply isn't going to come back for whatever reason. Of course, that happens. But a lot of times, you're just so overwhelmed with grief and depression and anxiety, and you're really beating yourself up that you can't see anything clearly, and you just think that there's no chance of getting that person back.
And that's how it feels. And grief has a beginning and a middle and an end. But in the beginning, it feels like it's forever. Right.
And, you know, the thing about breakups is that there are times that there is 0% chance of working things out, right? But that's normal. That's just part of the process, where there are periods where I would say to you, and I'm honest with you guys, I don't think they're going to come back right now, but that doesn't mean I don't think they will come back in whatever amount of time. I try and go with my gut if somebody asks me to make a guess.
And people do ask you, what percent? You have a lot of experience. What percent would you give it? And I'll say, I don't have a magic wand or a crystal ball, but here's my opinion. That's all I can give you.
Yeah, we try to ballpark it based on what we've seen play out, in other situations. But having 0% hope is normal. And I think the reason that it is normal is because when you just begged your ex to take you back, and now they've blocked you, they're not talking to you, they're telling you to leave them alone, of course, at that moment, it's not going to turn around. But time does a massive overhaul on breakups. And when you
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
When you can be patient and prepare yourself on how to handle your situation, and you focus on that personal growth, you're going to give yourself a much better opportunity to turn it around. But if you just sit around beating yourself up and not really making changes in yourself and not preparing what to do if they do reach out, well, then you're just going to make your chances a lot less likely of being successful.
And remember self-compassion. That's the big one. Because you continue to exist even if the relationship doesn't.
So today I've got an email from somebody I did a coaching with who said, they started right off.
Zero hope?
I think my case is 0% hope. However, I'm still seeking help, not only with the hope of getting him back, but for my mental health. I am in deep depression, mentally unstable. I even quit my job and flew back to my hometown country to stay with my family. So this woman is really having a hard time.
I'm glad she had a family to go to if that's how bad she felt. Okay.
So she is in her late 30s and the guy is in his early 30s, and she is Asian, and she just wanted to put that out there because she said there is a culture difference and that's an issue.
Sure.
Okay? So she was describing him, and she says he's Caucasian. He's super stubborn, immature, impulsive, has a lot of feeling, super devoted, and sentimental.
A lot of feelings.
That's the way she described him. I don't know what she meant by that.
So he's obnoxious but lovable, it sounds like. Those are the worst kind. Okay.
His parents divorced when he was a baby, around 9 months old. Raised up by his mom with unconditional love. His father loves him so much too. I don't think he had a tough childhood. We were in a 5-year relationship.
Oh my, no wonder she's upset. 5 years.
It started in the summer of 2013. In that year, I finished college working at a job where he was also a cashier. The first 3.5 years were amazing.
Oh.
We had each other's true love, most serious and significant partner. He never had been in a much of a serious relationship before. I met his family members from his mother's side, visited them on Christmas, traveled to see his mom and stepdad. Everything is great until he moved in with me about 1.5 years ago.
Till his parents moved in?
Till he moved in with her 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
It's a major change to the system.
Oh, sure it is.
We started to have problems. I was always angry at him for something. Cooking, house chores, doesn't have time for me, drinking and smoking, his job, what he's doing for his career. He wants to chase music for his life, and I feel no hope with a person who has no stable job. I don't hang out with his friends. He feels I don't respect his friends. She said that the major problems were that I want to settle down and start a family and have kids ASAP, which would make sense because she's in her late 30s.
Yes. Yeah.
But he mentally and financially is not ready yet. Mm-hmm. My family came to visit me for a few days after he moved in about 8 months. I don't know if she means 8 months ago.
All right.
I asked if he can stay with a friend or in a hotel so I can have the room for my family. Also, I need to move all of his stuff out of the house because I can't let my family know that I'm dating someone and live with the person.
Oh, please. She's in her 30s?
Mm-hmm. She said it's a culture thing, but he doesn't understand. She said the fact that I never officially introduced him to my family hurt him so much.
Well, why couldn't she introduce him as somebody she was dating?
I guess because she
not.
felt their Asian culture, she didn't say specifically where, she couldn't introduce him, had to hide the stuff. He had to leave when the family came to visit.
Wow.
So you can imagine he probably felt like,
absolutely,
aren't you going to stick up for me? Don't you love me? You could see why he'd be so upset. Mm-hmm. She said at that time, he moved out. I don't see any future with him. I told him I need to move on and start talking to a guy on dating site. Even though I did not do anything with that guy, he got really upset and jealous, and it actually led to the breakup. Wait a minute.
I'm confused.
Of course it would lead to the breakup. You just told him you're going to start dating other guys on a dating site?
Right.
How would that not lead to a breakup? But I think her anxiety was just completely controlling her behavior at this point.
Actually, her family was completely controlling her behavior at this point.
But I think the age of I have to settle down was putting a lot...
Yes, the biological clock was ticking.
Yeah. Okay, so in the middle of October, they had a fight over the phone, and I said, I break up again. We talked about breakups so many times, but we never did because we loved each other so much. A few days later, he told me he had sex with a woman. He knew this woman from previous work, but they barely talked before. He said he wants to be with this woman in 2 days.
I see.
So
I guess he is impulsive.
After 2 days of being with this other woman, he said, you know what, I think I'm going to go with her instead. Well, he was probably so hurt and angry at you.
Sure.
That he said, no, I want to check out this new situation. I cried, begged, pleaded with him, even faked to cut myself in order to get his attention, which scared him, and I guess it really did turn him off. You want to talk about that?
Well, it's not a good idea to use that as a manipulation. Now, there are people who get so upset and so angry and so hurt inside that they cut to make themselves feel better. I know that sounds like very strange behavior, but it moves the pain from inside your heart to your wrist or your arm or wherever you cut yourself. It's an effort to change your internal state.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many people get panicked and interpret it as a suicide attempt, and I think she was attempting to scare him.
Yeah.
That's a manipulation, not an adult communication.
And of course, when you do that kind of behavior, it is really going to turn the other person off.
Sure.
He said he doesn't love me in a romantic way anymore. The following few days, I constantly called and sent him a message repeatedly begging and pleading. He got furious, saying that what I'm doing is pushing him even further. He will eventually block me if I keep doing this. Okay, then about a month later, out of the blue, he called one of our mutual friends, telling the friend he has problem with that woman and he started thinking about me more for the past few days and he missed me. Look at that. A month later, look at how the situation changed.
And changed, right.
Right? What do I say about time?
And
I
it
just
sounds
said that.
like they had a great time together until the visit.
Yep. Well, I think they had some problems once they moved in together.
Yeah.
I think it's because at the time, he and that woman have conflict about the Thanksgiving plan, and in the moment, he thinks about me. One day later, they already made up. Okay, so then about a week later, he wrote me an email saying that he's not going to help me with renting my house in the future. Helping me is not his responsibility anymore.
Was he helping her financially?
He says renting my house.
Okay, sounds like he was helping.
You know, just so you guys know, I don't think English was her first language,
No.
and that's why it's kind of difficult in the wording here. So she talks about the woman that he's now interested in. Extremely opposite of me. I'm classic, professional, career-driven woman, while she is the goth-type girl. Laid back, no job, drinks, smokes weed, and she also told him she is promiscuous.
At which point he said, thank God.
Sign me up. Yeah. He told our mutual friend that he knows this woman will cheat on him one day, but he still wants to give it a shot. He is the most stubborn person I've ever known.
Which we've decided means they won't do what I want.
Yeah, exactly. And with her, you can imagine, because she tries to be so controlling, he probably just gets more entrenched with his position. I think he sees this girl as an opportunity to help him get out of the vicious cycle with me, convincing himself that he no longer has feelings for me. Also, their relationship is so fresh, so much excitement and passion. What should I do now? Should I stay around him before they are about to get too serious? No, I don't think so.
You can't control that.
You got to stay out of that. You'll just wind up getting it blown up in your face. This girl is a jealous type. If I stay around him, I can make her jealous and then leave him. I need to take action ASAP.
No, you don't.
They can create more memories. I disagree with this.
I do too.
I would not interfere, because then he's just going to get angry and resentful to you.
Can I make a general comment?
Sure.
About cultural issues? This is something I have run into 3 times, I think, in the last 2 weeks. It's extremely difficult. You find people who've moved here unmarried and are looking for a partner, and they come from a totally different culture. It's extremely difficult. They may meet someone here who doesn't meet the cultural requirements. They still have a family that they care about, but a family that absolutely thinks they have the right to make their partnering decisions for them. And it's an extremely difficult position to be in. My feeling about that is, if you're planning to live your adult life in whatever country, you can't do it by the cultural norms of a different country and have it work out. And I've seen numerous people stuck in this position of feeling like to be with the person they want to be with, they have to sort of betray their cultural norms and their parents and their family of origin. And it's a very difficult dilemma. But no matter the circumstances, I also believe that as adults, we have to make our own decisions.
Absolutely.
So,
and at 38 years old,
yeah.
She wasn't making her own decisions.
No, she wasn't. And I don't blame him for being upset by that.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
And, that's probably why she feels so guilty. Because she knows she should have stood up for him.
It's hard to know how she feels, but I'm just acknowledging the dilemma. I'm sure she's very upset.
Well, she said she's very depressed.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, she did. She's very depressed. Well, she feels like she's in a no-win position. Mm-hmm. If she goes with her family, she loses him. If she goes back to him and owns it, then she thinks she loses her family. But she can't accept that bind either. I'm going to do what I feel is the best thing for me. And if you feel you have to disown me for that, there that is.
I think that if he does come back around again, which I'll get to that in a second, she's got to be prepared to tell the family, this is the situation, I'm dating this guy, I've been with him, and
yep.
he needs to feel like a priority.
That's right.
He's not going to go back to that status quo.
Absolutely, nor should he.
No, he shouldn't.
No, he should not. Nor should she be put in that position. So I agree. I think she has to resolve that issue somehow.
Yep. So she finished up by saying, if I don't do anything now, will I lose him forever? Or should I just not do anything and be passive and let them run their course?
Let them? Who's them? Oh, he and she.
Yeah.
She has no choice but to do that. She can't interfere with them.
No, I absolutely agree with that. And, you could see, look, this new woman, she's probably not going to be a good fit for him. They're already having problems after a month. The woman is self-admittedly promiscuous. So what's to say she wants to be in a relationship, right? Maybe she's just hooking up with him right now. So, you're convinced that you don't have a chance here, but he already has reached out to family or friends or whatever it was, saying that he missed her when they were having problems. So I think there's a good chance she'll hear from him again after it's run its course with this other woman.
And he would have every reason to believe that she cannot make a decision to be with him. Mm-hmm. Because that's what she has indicated.
Yeah.
You're off limits.
So you really need to work on yourself and figure out what you want here before he comes back. Because if this guy does come back and says he wants to try again, or he starts talking to her again, and he feels like it's the same old stuff, he's going to be gone.
And what's going to happen if they marry and have children? They're going to keep the grandchildren a secret forever?
Exactly.
To keep the parents happy? Mm-hmm. That won't work.
Mm-hmm.
But she sounds pretty angry at him. She manipulated him by pretending to cut herself, and I wish people wouldn't do that, because then the rest of the world think people do that only to manipulate, when sometimes it's a serious symptom we have to be aware of. And she's pretty angry at him now, I think. She has a whole list of things. He's stubborn, he's this, he's that, he's the other thing, which would make me want to say to her, what is it that you loved about him? What was wonderful when the relationship was good?
I think she's angry, and this is me speculating. Here's why. Because she's in her late 30s, she wants to have family and kids, and he isn't financially responsible or in a position where he can. And she's resentful because he's not acting the way she wants him to.
Well, he's also not willing to live in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, nor should he be.
Yeah, you're not going along with the way I want things to go. Mm-hmm. I think that's some of her anger right there.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have to.
No.
If you're choosing him as your partner, then he should be the priority, not your parents or what they think or feel. That you're throwing him out of his own home.
Yeah. As difficult as that sounds, it's a decision you have to make as a grown-up. And it's hard when there are two cultures or three sometimes involved.
Yeah. Because she really did throw him out.
She really did.
Yeah. You need to leave. You need to get all your stuff. I have to hide all your stuff because my family is coming.
I have to hide you. Yeah.
And you wonder why he's upset.
Yeah.
That's why he's upset.
That's right.
And he's not going to go along with that again. So you better be prepared to make him a priority if he does, because I don't think her chance is 0%. I think this,
I don't either.
after 5 years, he's fed up and he's angry at her.
But she's going to have to make a very difficult decision.
Yeah.
And it's a decision we all have to make. But in multicultural situations, it's even harder.
Yep. All right. So hopefully this will help you guys out and put some perspective.
So. Yeah.
And, get you to think about your situation and realize that even though it may feel like there's a 0% chance of your ex wanting to be with you and coming back, oftentimes it's because in that moment, there's nothing you can do. But time is huge. And if you give your ex time and space to work things out and you really focus on yourself, you're only going to improve those chances.
That's right. And as you often say, better than I do, and remember, he has to have time to grieve. Mm-hmm. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let him realize what it's like not having you in his life. It sounds like he's already doing some of that. Mm-hmm. So do not interfere with him.
Absolutely. Okay. So when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching.
Yes, and I can get you in fairly quickly as of the next couple of weeks.
Yep. Just sign up with Margaret, and you do that by clicking on Margaret on the top of the website. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.